Let me just make sure the bulk of them are online. It looks like they're all online except for, oh, there it goes, YouTube. So, welcome everybody on the live and the replay. It's our fourth and final show of the day. We've got a beautiful, beloved sister in the house, Crystal Pardo. Typical Soulogy fashion. I don't know her. She doesn't know me. And she's not familiar with Soulogy. She was asking me about Soulogy. And I just told her we're just going to have a conversation and get to know each other in front of all of our brothers and sisters. So I'm going to give people a little bit more time to come in. I'm going to play the intro. It's 1 minute and 19 seconds. We'll be right back with Crystal Pardo. How's it going, everybody? We got Crystal Pardo in the house. Just a quick 4 shows. I'm getting a little tongue-tied. Must be all the activations I got last night, too, and today. A couple of quick announcements. One, for those of you who've been asking, if you don't know yet, we are, after 2,500 shows, we are now available on all the podcasts, all the major podcasts. I think there's about 8 of them. So if you want to listen to the shows, and you can't watch them, then that's available. And you can also watch these shows at SoulogyNetwork.com, where we're in the early stages of building multiple channel platform that will be handheld accessible to include an alternative to Facebook with a profile-based social community where you can upload images and videos and eventually do lives and all that stuff. So. And we also have a Soulogy swag store. So if you want to support us with some Soulogy paraphernalia, it's there. And that's going to be, we're going to be adding a lot of stuff to that very soon. Crystal Pardo out of Florida, also planet Earth, galactic, universal citizen. And I can see that all over her face, the galactic aspect of her. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming in and sharing space with us and honoring us with your presence. When I meet someone for the first time, a lot of the time I'll ask them, when did you wake up? Were you born this way? Did you go on the typical trajectory of way showers and starseeds, where you did wake up with sensitivities, they were suppressed, you were told you were crazy, you eventually entered the matrix and you kind of go half asleep and then you have a reawakening. Is that how it went for you, or have you always been this weird? I'm just kidding.
Where can I start? I've dealt with extraterrestrial beings and high galactics, my brethren, for many years, ever since birth stasis. Supposedly told by my family that I was found here on this grid X in the 80s in a birth certificate cover-up. Truly, I have been through timelines and different dimensional grids through my dream stasis. And I am in set communication with the high galactics of light, the cosmosis grid. I bear the signet and the designation of the wisdom and clarity and peace and love that this dearly beloved terraform planet needs. The knowledge-based stasis and the clarity for humanity as seventh set seal ascended master of the light and way bearer and bringer of the new planetary beginning to align on this grid. I will do and designate what needs to be done and set communication with important people. And I'm here to make sure, as third option, set leeway, especially between these two different opposing figures that have been going on this planetary grid at this point in time. It causes a lot of confusion, chaos, strife, and we don't need this. We need to align what's right, align what needs to be healed for humanity, and push forward into a cosmic society for all, because this is the now time for this to happen.
Right on. That's a good wake-up experience. And so what I love about it, too, and it's a good place to start, is a lot of people think there's only two choices, right? Good and bad,
I'm
dark and
bringing the
light.
third choice,
And
sweetheart.
so that's right. That's it. People ask me about the election, like, who are you voting for? I said, I'm not choosing one of those. I'm choosing to vote with my feet. So there is a third choice, and I guess ultimately the third choice is ourselves. And when I say that, obviously I'm speaking from a fully omniscient field or fractal of the entirety. But yes, there is a third choice. Our primary hashtag since day one, 9 years ago in Soulogy has been I am soul. And soul, and that those three words basically meaning that what I am soul represents is our entire, the totality of our infinite, limitless, pick the category, pick the adjectives. I mean, this is who we really are, right?
Yes, yes. And it's honestly just to bring the common sense to humanity, because the common sense is not here at this time. It needs to be brought to an ethical stasis for humanity to truly have guidance, positive guide. But I mean, it's time, a high time humanity needs to understand and learn the concept of beyond the veil.
Yeah.
There's more than just this planet.
Yeah. You cut out a little bit, but I heard most of it. And there is it, excuse me, is it that, I get a little freaked out when people say need and have, because as I've gone along this journey, I'm not taking a shot at you. I'm not saying that. I'm just moving into this question. Because as time has gone on, and like everybody else, I pull down more and more intel and more awareness. I realize that I don't know anything. And then by virtue of that experience and reality, I am everything. I come into more touch with everything.
Yep.
Is it so much that there is a sense of urgency, or is it alignment that we're feeling? In other words, I think everybody feels that something's imminent. Is it a collective ascension to include
Up to humanity, dear one, to truly understand those are the guides that were brought here. I am not the only one. There are others.
Yeah.
It's up to humanity to truly understand and awaken through the higher conscious stasis that they are. They must truly open up their minds and see beyond the potential of the things that are and what can be.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me a little bit about now you said something, you said a lot when I asked you that question, the original question. You said a lot, and it was very encoded, I can tell. But the first part of what you said was that you came around in the 80s. There was a birth certificate, something or another. Can you explain? A cover up.
When I told on my family by more than one person, and honestly, I posted this on Facebook. I have an old photo of me and my said family, Earth family, growing up, and I look completely different from them. Pale white skin, ultra blonde hair, body form different, everything. I've always had a difference from them, and I know truly that I'm not from here. Yeah. There are ones like me. We are kind of, in a way, time travelers / guardians of the planetary grids, kind of like a cosmic guardian angel. Yeah. In a way. I'm not the only one. There are others, but we are a rare few. Yeah.
No doubt. We've had many of them on this show. There's a common characteristic to it. They're definitely, and I know in the light worker circles, starseed, way shower circles, a lot of people have mentioned the 144,000. They've mentioned this, they mentioned that. I also feel that for the most part, most of us are inclined to see everything as equal. So it's difficult sometimes to identify a group because of the potential separation frequency that might be encouraged. But what I'm trying to say is there seems to be ample evidence of a team, boots on the ground, that has a particular role, which is to facilitate the expansion of those who are here who did not come for that purpose for whatever reason in origination. Does that ring true with you? Do you feel that
Yeah,
that's...
I am one of them. I am a grid lead line worker, and I am an awakener. I awaken the codes of humanity. I've done this many times. And it is through the high galactics, my brother and Arcturian, that I'm able to take up humanity's ethereal forms into the spaceships. They experience different things. Many people have that. It's this awakening process. My set designation is part of dealing with the Arcturian codec to help awaken humanity. Okay, now people get Arcturians wrong. They're not always bad. They're not even bad at all. It's the matri, the matri. The matri are the ones, the set designated beings that are not good. Okay. Most aren't. Arcturians are here. They're light code workers, set beings from the stars and the cosmos, from source itself, to help awaken humanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's Theta Reticuli, which are a neutral race. I know a lot. I've been with.
Well, yeah, I got you.
Truly, they are helping awaken humanity, though. They use us, not in a bad way. It's more or less they're helping, channeling through us to channel into humanity, awakening their codes. I'm set for that designated certain mission and purpose on the awakening code part. There are others too. We are called the Ascended Masters of Light. There are not much of us, but we are here to help really shift the 144 frequency souls and to urge the rest of humanity of the lost set souls to help in an awakening process even for them.
Yeah. So if we take an individual's experience, and I'm just going to point to mine real quick because that's easiest for me to for instance, the Arcturians have come in my case, quite a few times. Their information has been specific, and it's revolved around the introduction. And again, this is, I'm sure there's a lot of metaphor in it, but the construction and initiation of 5D commerce through Soulogy to help convert the existing financial system and to assist in the transition and higher understanding of what, for instance, equal energy exchange is, and it doesn't necessarily mean. Yeah.
And listen, it's going to comment to that because me and the set other few beings who works at the Arcturian set solar system and the set archons as well, but these are not the bad archons. These are the archons that work for the light, that works for the advanced technology and the schematic and advancement that's needed. So it's, yes, the Arcturians work for helping to heal humanity and bring the set advancements of technology to set and designate humanity into the right process code.
Yeah, I got you. And so, and to continue with the question, thank you for that validation. I've also had experiences with strong Syrian presence, also Alpha Centaurian. In that case, those two aspects, I'll just refer to them as aspects, appeared in our bedroom. They were translucent. They both walked into me. I understood a couple months later that they were embodying in me at the time. I've also had, experiences with other star family. And then also I would have to include elemental nature beings and such, and of course, angelic. And I guess where I'm going with this is, in your own experience, from your perspective, are these aspects that you are communing with, channeling, downloading from, are they higher aspects of you? And I know in the end of the day, everything is one, but I mean, in the short range, are they aspects of you and if they're not, hang on, and if they're not, are there aspects of you working with them in that dimension? Okay, go ahead.
No and yes.
Well, this is 5D. We can't answer things at linear level anymore.
No, because I do provide proof to humanity that the ships are with me. I see them every single night. They're up in the sky. They show off, and these ET beings are extra dimensional beings. Okay, like we were set as interdimensionals. We're the guys we're set in between the stasis of humanity and the ETs. Okay. They're set to enter higher dimensional beings. That means they can revert between ethereal form and even their ships themselves and the physical 3D format. So I've been able to have them in my pictures. I can see their outline. I see differently than others. Okay, they visit me. I had a being the other day visit me. I posted about it on Facebook. I saw his outline. It was in the middle of the night. I took a photo and his outline showed right up on the photo. I have many photos of them, of different species of light, through my Facebook page. And check it out. Anyone who wants to check it out under Crystal Pardo, Blue Crystalline Phoenix. I provided a lot of proof to humanity that they exist more than just 3D. People expect 3D. You need to look into the ethereal / 3D phase of it. It's more than just that.
Yes. Now the objective of sharing, taking these photos of these visitations, and posting them. The objective is to increase the awareness that these things beyond the visible light spectrum exist, right?
Everyone expects 3D all the time from my ET. They don't. If they look truly and open their minds beyond the veil, you get what I mean? They can actually commune better with them. They would show better. They would show through an ethereal physical basis, and even through ethereal. Open your minds up, and you open your eyes up. You open your third eye up. Really align your chakras, align your senses, and open up and remove based fears upon ETs altogether. And things could change for humanity. They could see better. I don't have big fears on any of the ETs, even the bad ones. The bad ones don't like me, but that's what truly opens me up. So
now, when you have these visitations, do they come with specific information that's relevant to the day, to the moment, to what's going on, that type of thing?
Well, when I do my channeling through the ETs, sometimes it can go on a major timeline shift into the future, like premonitions. I get a lot of them in my dreams. They show up in that too, but they show me premonitions, or they show me something for the day, something current. I've dealt with a lot of stuff that ended up coming true, you know, and this is a channeling. It's just an advanced form of what I know and feel. I feel the energy from them. I see them. I experience things on a deeper level than others would with them.
And when and the information that comes with them, is it more focused on your individual mission and purposes, or is there any collective intelligence that comes through in terms of what's happening on the grand scale from the human perspective and that type of thing?
Well, on an ethereal-based sense, I do more with them. I actually help the high galactics through let's just say dealing with wars and stuff on an ethereal-based stasis into a physical-based stasis on other dimensional grids. I am a high galactic commander, but I don't do things on a physical stasis as people think I do. I have advanced forms of astral projection / teleportation, cognitive psychic abilities, which can actually in turn become like people have seen outlines and other stuff. It's such a deep level between the ETs and I. It's really hard to explain and really hard for people to comprehend unless they gain the gifts that I was gained from it.
Well, let me ask you a different way. The visitations that I've had or that you've had, if they are not aspects of ourselves, say evidenced by maybe the Syrian and the Alpha Centaurian that walked into my body were specifically my aspects of me. But essentially, I guess what I'm saying is the difference between you, let's just use you as an example. The difference between you and, let's say, a team, an energy complex of Arcturians that you work with,
Yes.
is the difference between them and you, could it be summed up that you are um, from that realm or field of experience, and that you have embodied in a human body and
Yes.
they have not?
Yes.
Okay.
The astral form can fully take over a human format or even be changed through time. This is one indication of why these certain beings actually pull people up physically into ships, which I've had many times. I have codes and certain inscripts, laser marks, and all this other stuff on me from them. So yes, I've been physically up into ships before. It's and what you were saying about humanity and how we could be at that level and this level at the same time, that is a possibility too, because I work on two different dimensional realms. So
Right.
you're talking about the physical part and you're talking about the ethereal. And yes, there are beings that can work on both sides of the aspect, especially when they're in contact with extraterrestrial beings from other cosmic grids.
Right. A
I
big, a big buzzword of the day, as we've near the end of 2020, uh, has been sovereignty. I think because of the fear-based programming, obviously we have some degree of fear or another within our field, depending on what the subject matter is, and maybe that's one of the things that kind of holds back or blocks the communication between us and Star Family, is the fear of what that is and what that represents.
Exactly. Humanity's too afraid to actually express what's really out there. They want to stay stuck in one spot, but really you don't want to keep going around these revolving doors. You want to go through a straight way door eventually. It has to align that way.
Right
It
on.
just does.
And in your experience, just as a point of reference for everybody, because you've got a pretty wide wealth of experience, both here and there, you know, what would you say to, if I made the statement that, and there's no right or wrong, I'm just trying to learn.
Okay.
If I make the statement that on any timeline and in any dimension, I can stand in my power and own my power and claim my sovereignty, and nothing has power over me.
Exactly. You are your own set God code conscious being. We all are. When we all accept that and understand that we are the light of the world, we can rise above the darkness and become something better.
Right on.
Each and every set soul here is beautifully and wonderfully made and created, and we all are truly important.
Right
And
on.
what really truly needs to be important though is setting things right, removing space fear, removing the control, just bringing about the freedom that humanity deserves, and actually bringing Eden back.
Yeah. We were just talking about that on the previous show. Clementine always has some great questions, and and I don't always go to the questions, but this is a good one, and I think you're the right person to talk about it. She says, can you explain how you teleport? Astral projection is easy as it is your consciousness teleporting, but teleportation involves the body. It would be great to hear how you do that, or any information you could offer us on that.
I can't physically teleport altogether. It's sometimes you can see like a shimmer going on, especially people who can see auras and stuff and energy. You can see that. You're still physically here, but it's more advanced in the astral than a regular just astral projection. With me, I've had the physical format to do multiple things at once, still be there. I can actually split my set designated ethereal body in multiple places. I've had this happen at once. I've had this happen probably about 10, 15 times already. And it can happen. It's your mind is a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's this teleportation stasis that I'm talking about is actually it's a stronger form of an energy format, okay? It can affect reality around you, and people can experience it differently. It's much stronger than just regular astral projection.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
People have experienced the feelings of, like, if I was physically there, they've seen shit's happened, okay?
Yeah.
It's a far more advanced stasis of an energy form of astral projection. It's in between.
My experience with bilocation, I guess you're calling it astral projection, whatever these terms are, has always been, you know, I guess it's been, I'm able to see, like, say I'm going to go visit you in your room, and I'm going to enter the space of your room. Uh, it typically is somewhat faint. All right. I've had times where it was very vivid, but there always seems to be a little faint. What do you think that's due to? Is that due to
Block.
the blockages of our?
Mhm.
Well, let me put it a different way. Would that be due to our belief systems that we've adopted, which aren't accurate? Uh-oh.
Well, they can stall it. It can lower the vibrational frequencies, dear one. What really can help is actually getting into the meditation Zen mode, go outside, spend time in nature, actually aligning set chakras. And humanity, much of humanity doesn't know that there are more than 7 chakras. I have already shown humanity through videos of the 13 set 14 chakra system. They have not gotten the designated codes set right for them to bring the awakening process into designation. And through that, it can nullify astral projection. It can nullify your abilities. And it's not just that, it's chemicals and things. It's chemicals in food. It's chemicals in medications. It's stuff that other things that will nullify the abilities that will avert you from actually using them. I don't use chemicals. I don't use makeup. I am a vegetarian. I do keep my health in check and my balance in check with my energy, especially my chakras. It is a really set basis important thing to do, as well as sun gazing, spending time getting vitamin D as well. This will help.
Where does your human aspect stand? Like, you've obviously had a somewhat unique life experience. Has it been a challenge to your human aspect at times? Do you get triggered? What do you do when you get triggered? If you do, where does your human aspect stand in all this?
Being a mother, I've had 2 kids I ended up losing, unfortunately, because of trusting people, and I tend to not think about that at times. That is a weakness to me. But other than that, I stand firm and I stand strong, because someone must truly be that way to be able to enlighten humanity and guide them in the right direction. I don't see weakness much anymore. I must stay strong. You have to stay strong. You have to stay strong in your light. You cannot let low frequencies get to you, because if you do, it will just rip you up from the inside out, no matter what you're going through.
Yeah. Some people call that the dark night of the soul. And sometimes we come out of it understanding blessings are burdens and burdens are blessings, right?
No matter what you go through, yep.
And again, from your perspective, no right or wrong. I'm just asking questions, trying to learn, pick up code. What the hell do you think's going on here? Is this a collective ascension that's like a fire hose that's been turned off and it's only going to get stronger and it's not going to stop and everyone's affected and let go or be dragged? Or is there something else going on here?
It is a cosmic ascension. This is ascension to humanity's true protocols and the advancements of technology and knowledge that they need, and was set designated in the beginning of time here in Eden used to be an advanced civilization. It is time for humanity to initiate and become that. Humanity has that designation, and they were given the codes here. As aligned in frequency set codes, I would not be here otherwise. It is high time that it's coming into, as Federation of Planets must align for this cosmic base stasis on this grid. It must become Eden again.
Yeah. Do you feel that we will have, you were talking about how with the star family, they're much more inclined to meet us at the higher frequency than to come down here and communicate.
Yes. Well, the
What,
reason why is because these extraterrestrials aren't just going to come right down like that. Humanity needs to unlock their codes. They need to actually awaken themselves and express the truths and bring about the truths that was hidden for a long time. Listen, not all ETs are good, dear one. There are bad ones too. But yes, there's a lot of different species out there. They have been out there. They come and they go. But it's truly up to humanity to express themselves and truly want to awaken up to this set designated thing.
mm. What do you see as not to tie you into any type of prophecy or anything, but how do you think we're doing? What do you see happening in terms of our reality? Not so much what's going to happen. Is there going to be a solar flash or spaceship's going to land or anything like that? What I'm talking about is what's your perspective on what our prospects are of seeing a dramatic change in our reality as it moves away from illusion to reality. Where do you think we stand with that? Like, let's just say in the next 12 months.
Honestly, I wish humanity would not expect something to come up and say that it's going to come up when it doesn't. They should actually initiate and make the progress they need to make for each set timeline. Don't expect something, make something.
Yes.
Make it worth it.
That's
Go
and
in
that's
at
yeah,
right time.
that's exactly what I'm referring to. That's why I said not some event, but and let me rephrase it. So, what do you think our prospects are as a result of the internal work that we've done on ourselves to remove the layers that have shrouded our soul and our sensitivity, higher sensitivity skills and abilities? What do you think our prospects of bringing more heaven to earth, let's put it that way, a higher frequency, 5D plus, whatever,
Yeah.
as we understand in the context of the conversation that the baseline of that is our internal work and nobody's waiting for anybody to come save us. What do you think the prospects are in the next 12 months, say 2021, of us seeing an a substantial alteration to a more aligned reality, a more truth oriented reality here on the Eden that's still evolving back to its original state?
Well, then number one is the Federation of Planets. Humanity needs to get that initiated as soon as possible. I'm here to help designate that. It needs to be done. Treaties need to be made worldwide, and things need to be set and aligned in a set designated process. Everything is going through steps, dear one, but it needs to go in the right, proper steps. And with these next 12 months coming up, initiate, especially with the higher ups here, especially with the higher ups here in this country, United States of America, need to make and designate something that can be made worldwide on a planetary scale to help initiate these, for these set different countries, the right designated thing needs to be done, like removing set pollutants, removing things that could harm humanity and the animals here in nature. This can be designated right, and it's already been initiated, and this process has already been going through slowly but surely. And yes, I make sure and designate that, but it truly, everyone needs to take a step. Everyone needs to take a step and make a certain, like paper, just make something, a timeline for themselves of what they can do to help.
In their
Every
own
step person here should.
in their own right.
For the next 12 months, I mean, why not? Why not make something that's going to profit? Why not start something big?
Yeah.
Every person can make that. They can do this. And
So
it
what
can
you're
be
so what you're
worldwide scale.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the two aspects here. You're talking about, on one hand, more of a general statement in regard to the different countries
Yes.
and some of the things that would be necessary steps in sequence happening in the literal
Proper step.
experience, happening in the literal experience. But also you're talking about the individuals making their own vision board, their own
proposition of what they can do to help better themselves. And in turn, bettering themselves is going to better humanity and everything around them.
Right.
Make one thing.
Yeah. Now, and then if I pull those two together, to me, it would make sense that the individual visualizations and plans and initiations that they put in place would be the underlying component to bringing on a higher alignment and a higher level of experience, to include even those people who would be in positions as quote unquote leaders of countries, leaders of organizations. It really isn't about what they do.
It's about what everyone can do to help make everything else better.
I got you. Yeah, I've got you. That brings me the clarity I needed, because I'm thinking about the, if I look at the whole house worldwide, no one's in charge. Even if you refer to countries such as the United States, that's really not what it appears to be. There's other powers in place, and it's very fragmented. Are these seemingly control these these controlling organizations and energies, some that are known, some that are unknown, are they as aware as we are of the information that you're sharing and that's shared on this show? That there's an ascension going on, that okay, you are. Okay. I mean, they are. Yeah.
Yes. And unfortunately, some of these organizations aren't to the light. They want to create havoc, pain, mass confusion, and chaos. It doesn't need to be. It just doesn't.
I wonder why those that might have the intention to hoard esoteric information, technology, money, whatever, luxury for themselves, information for themselves, and who might also want to manipulate other people or keep them in the dark. I wonder what their motivation is.
Honestly, I feel like they're holding it until the set right designated time, like the advanced technology from the different set species. Okay, some of humanity is using it for bad because they're not really from here. They're draconians, or they're reptilians, or they're some other kind of dark species. But then there are those that are actually holding this technology, and it's going to need to be brought out now. It's now high time that it needs to be designated. It is. And it is. There's so many that the high cosmics have brought here that have these certain set frequencies and codes and alignments in their mind that help to align better stasis for our certain technology that should be brought upon this planetary grid. We were set with the codes. And it's not just what's hidden already hidden, but it's what's in the minds of those already here now.
Would it be let me ask you a question with a choice. Is essentially every single human incarnated in a vessel like mine or yours something that is the housing for a higher aspect that chose to come down here at this time?
Chosen few, yes, there are chosen.
Or is there a group of presently human incarnated beings that does not apply to, that were created here? Maybe is that, or is everybody, or is every human body housing a galactic aspect of themselves that came down here for the purpose of being a part of what's happening?
We truly all have a DNA code of extraterrestrials inside of us. It's always been that way. A bunch of humanity has lost that knowledge that they have lost from ensnarement, mind traps. Just humanity's just been ensnared for too long and lost the ancient knowledge that was them. It is in every human's code. Yes. We all are a cosmic society. We all should become that and not call ourselves humans anymore. Become a cosmic society and actually call ourselves an Eden again. It's now time for the star seeds to shine and humanity to truly know and understand that concept. This is why the advanced species of the cosmos has brought these certain set few, you and I and other set beings here. Give the knowledge and open up humanity's minds and actually open up their psychic awareness as well and their abilities. It's an unlocking DNA code.
Yeah, I get that. And the human aspect.
Yes, yes, it opens them up. They awaken. They see who they are. They are lost from within. They don't remember their extraterrestrial DNA codec inside of themselves. But by the set few that come here to wake them up, they remember.
Do you see this as a divinely orchestrated realm and experience created by all of us as the fractals of God that we are, or no right answer, wrong answer, or is this an aberration that went haywire?
This is at the point in time where things have gone haywire for humanity because they have lost their senses and their understanding. But this is also the time that they're getting it because of their energies that have been going through this planetary grid from the other planetary systems. And it's not just the extraterrestrials as well. The energies here are really lining up and raising the frequencies of humanity so they can go and align to that cosmic codec of once before.
Yeah. Far out. And what role do the elementals play?
The elementals, are you talking about fairies, stuff
Talking
like
about
that?
fairies, the elders, Sasquatch.
Yes, I've done that. I have photos of mountain gnomes. I've dealt with a jinn before. I've dealt with fairies, other beings, physically, ethically. Not all are bad, but some can be. Like fairies, for instance, they're not bad. I've dealt with some very nice and kind earth fairies who are resonance with the actual Andromedans themselves. When you're seeing a bunch of fairies, you're seeing the lights because they actually do shine a green light at night. You'll
I've
be able
seen
to
it.
see through the
I've
trees.
seen it. I went swimming with them one night on the top of a mountain. They were all over the fairies
Yeah,
and
they
water
are
nymphs.
beautiful.
Yeah, they were sexy.
People misunderstand it. They think they're like little insects, but you gotta look close. They're about this yay high. They got like 6 wings, some have 4. They glow. Sometimes they don't glow. They look like little humanoid insectoid beings.
Yeah.
They like, people
So
miss.
so what is like in this in regard to the Earth realm? Okay, we'll just talk about that space. And of course, this transition we call ascension. You've got the galactics, you've got angelic presence, you've got other divine essences. I don't know where they fall, the Kuan Yins and the Saint Germains and this and that. What role? Where does the elemental kingdom, and I would include nature beings, trees, flora, fauna. Where do they fit in with all of this?
Well, truly, that they're mixed in between the ethereal and physical realm stasis, and then there are certain species of them. Because I have quite a few people, I have a couple people who live. One person in particular lives here in Florida. He deals with jinn. Okay, and for some reason they chose him as so set king. He's an actual guide. They do have set humanity for guides. There's another person who deal with fairies himself. He is a guide for them. They actually have set guides as well. It's not extraterrestrials. Believe it or not, you're dealing with the mythical realm as well. And these mythical beings will choose humanity on an aspect to help guide them too.
Mm-hmm.
And to help awaken humanity and show them the proof and truth that is designated, just like people dealing with Bigfoots. I've dealt with a person who has a Bigfoot who personally comes to him, and he sent me photos before that. And they've had conversations. It's really, they will choose humanity as well. It's not just extraterrestrials.
Yeah, I got you.
All
I got you. So on a personal level, what guidance would you offer to anyone there are many people that are quote unquote waking up now.
Yeah.
And there's, as you know, there's a lot of complexity out there. What guidance would you give to anyone from today, this point forward, in terms of how to best navigate this transition we call ascension in their own personal development?
Find from within the one thing that truly enlightens you and help guides you in the right direction, whether it be crystals, whether it be sunlight, whether it be salt water, whether it be some type of meditation music, something that truly enlightens your soul, something that will truly set that code that you need up into a higher process. Start with the small thing like that, the one thing that you truly know brings that click. And once that happens, you just soar forward and you start designating other things that will help. And it,
Yeah.
things can become a stop, or things can be just like a big boom. It's a jump.
There's definitely a graduated, almost like a stair step,
Yeah.
yeah. And so like, and I've noticed that too, not just in my own experience, but, the people and the work that I do. And that is that I love what you said too, like start with something that you like have the most faith in or belief in, like say it's crystals. And I've seen this happen to a lot of people. They'll work with crystals and they'll basically merge with that energy. And then at some point,
it does something else. It
they move to something else.
Yeah. There you go. It's just
So
it's a small stepping stone.
Yeah. In between the lines of what you said, there was a really strong message, which is don't get attached to anything too much. Like it's don't limit yourself, basically.
Yeah. Okay? You start one point and you just keep going up.
Yeah.
You just keep going up.
Far out. It's what a pleasant surprise to end the day, the fourth show today with this beautiful, beloved, brave sister. And what part of Florida are you in?
St. Pete.
I was just in St. Pete. We were there from late January through May 28th. We were at St. Pete Beach. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a bad storm that hit here, about flooded all the way up to my knees in the area I'm in. Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was when that hurricane hit. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, next time I get down there, we'll have to look you up and see if we can't do a little another show in person. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for your service to humanity. Keep shining. Keep shining. And maybe if we get into next year, maybe if you're open to, we'll collaborate again and see what we can get ourselves into.
Absolutely. Who knows what the year will hold, dear one.
Yeah, right. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Bless you.
Peace out.